Hey fellers, what you got going on? Me? Got one of those. I got some of these. And I got a whole table of parts. Check it out. So I sat down with my tripod and filmed you guys a full YouTube version of this. But I just got out the car this morning with a couple more parts, and so I wanted to give you a quick rundown on my phone while I got everything laid out, because I know you guys are curious. So here's our oil pan. It's DIY style, so we got to get that mocked up, welded together. Pull this thing up off the ground, pull the pan. Here's my shifters. I'm going to end up having to take and probably make a new plate and then put this gate onto a new plate, because I need to keep this sensor set up. It's like a neutral safety switch and position sensor for the shifter, and this shifter is too wide to be able to go in to the 4runner, and I thought about cutting it down and doing some other stuff, and there's the factory shifter. So I'm gonna make some magic happen on that shifter and make that thing work. Here's our transfer case. It's the gear driven transfer case for passenger side drop, and then we're going to go to 23 spline. So there's our 23 spline upgrade. There's the swap headers we need, fancy flanges, sauce gaskets. Here's the Y band or Y pipe that I need, because I'm going to make a custom Y pipe. We're going to go 2.5 inch in from the flanges to a Y pipe. Then we're going to go 3 inch out of the Y pipe into a resonator, into a turbo muffler, over the axle, out the back. Cool? Cool. What else we got in here? We had to order a flex plate, and we found ARP flex plate bolts. So those are cool. What's the other thing we got going on? The shifter cable. So this is the Lexus shifter cable that goes with the Lexus shifter. This transmission was in Lexus and Toyota, Sequoia, Tundra, GX, all that good stuff. So there's the shifter cable, and then we're just going to make a couple of brackets for the body and adapt it to that shifter, and we should be good. Here is our transmission adapter for our transfer case. So that's going to take us from A340E to the gear driven transfer case R154, R1FIA, something like that. Whatever, you guys know what I'm talking about. So yeah, there's our transfer case adapter. Here's our DIY motor mounts. Here's a sample version of what they're going to look like when they're done. This is a Infinity Q60 power steering pump, electric power steering pump. So we're going to go to electric power steering. This is a steering shaft upgrade, so that we don't rub our steering shaft on the IFS. Sound deadener, firewall insulation, and here's our wiring harness. And this is our drive-by-wire throttle. It's our reflashed ECU, and all this stuff looks really nice and labeled and ready to go. So we'll be getting that out. There's a bearing in here too. I got to install the bearing on the 23 spline shaft for the transfer case, put a seal in, and do some of that fun stuff. Let's see what else we got. Got to return the harness for the power steering pump, because these came in the same box from the same people, but they didn't plug the harness into the pump to make sure that it was the right one, and it wasn't. So I got to return that one. These are 2.25. I need 2.5, so I got to return those, get the right stuff. Take that over the welder, have it welded. These bolts back here, so I didn't have any of the bell housing bolts, so I got those locally because those were M10s and M12s. But these ones right here, those are M9 1.25, 18.5 millimeter long. Find those anywhere. Yeah, they're Toyota only torque converter bolts. And so I had to order those from Woodland, Washington. Hopefully they ship in the next couple of days. 3.0 sitting over here on the ground, the auto and the old T case. I'm just making sure I've got everything off of it that I'm going to need, because I am going to try to make AC and cruise control work on this setup. So yeah, I got my bell housing hardware here, got my bearings, got my exhaust, my insulation, and I got this bare bones of a 4runner out here. You guys want to look at the engine compartment? Glass came out yesterday too. And there it is. No, it did not look this nice until like 2 days ago when I bought a new pressure washer and pressure washed like 6 inches of gnarl off of this thing. So it's actually in decent shape, but we're gonna have to paint it with something. I think I know what I'm gonna use. Should be cheap, easy, and fast. And we're gonna cover up the firewall from like this point down underneath. So really all you're gonna see is this apron and this apron. We'll have a new radiator here. So I just got to do something in here to make it look okay. But we did find a little rust action hole right there. So we'll have to fix it. And there's actually another one back here too. So we'll have to clean all this up and fix a couple of things in the battery box area. But that doesn't have to be pretty, because it's like right there. And that's going to get undercoated. So, you know, much like the Hilux, we'll just fix it real quick. Glass came out. Window channel looks a lot better than I thought, but we do have one little holey right there to take care of. So I'm gonna roll this thing back in there and get the parts moved out of the way. Now that I'm almost done inventorying and figuring out my swap parts, we'll get it in. Like this corner's fine in here, and this corner's fine down here. So we'll get it in there. We'll fix that little hole in the roof, and we'll fix this little hole in here, mask up and coat this with something, and then we'll get ready to drop that 2UZ in. I gotta reach out to Vivid Racing and grab somebody by the neck. I still don't have my lift kit parts here for the front end, but I've got everything for the back end. So Raptor liners here, insulation, sound deadening's here, shifters here. Yeah, I think we're in good shape. So here's all the old stuff. And then we'll get drive lines made once we get everything hung. Shop's a mess. Got boxes open and parts everywhere, and 3 cars in progress. Get in where you fit in, guys. You'll see that one come summertime. You'll see this one here in another 4 to 6 weeks, and then we're gonna go back to muscle car stuff. We got a Mustang. We got a square body. We got a Challenger. We got a Nova. What else do you want to do? First, let's get this done. Appreciate you guys. Have a killer end of the week. Y'all take care.